Xilonen alongside with Venti. This cast of 4-star, Faruzan, Yanfei, and Beidou are gonna be on the banner next week alongside these amazing weapons. So, how good are they? And should you be pulling on those characters or those weapons? Also, obligated mention, these are all the information I'm providing to help you with your decision making. If you think that, hey, I like Beidou and no one's gonna stop me from getting her, go right ahead. Don't let me stop you. But if you're on the fence, hey, I kind of like these characters or I have no feelings in particular indifferent about these characters, should I get them to improve my account? Then I am here to help. So my ranking, if you're not familiar with it goes from bad, and then there's decent, and then up from there there's good. Occasionally, really rarely, I'll give a character an awesome rating if they are outstandingly good. I'm gonna save the topic of Xilonen for last because it requires quite a bit of discussion. Let's get this out of the way. Venti, he's a decent support. At the very minimum, he can hold Redescent Venerer artifact set, and when enemies can be grouped by him, it's nice, but more often than not, in the harder endgame content, enemies are just singular boss or some heavy bosses that are not groupable. He is pretty much providing minimal utility there. So Venti is an early Archon in the game. Get him if you want him for collection purpose, but if you're looking for combat strength, Venti will not provide a lot. 4-star characters. Faruzan is pretty much the only shining star in this 4-star cast. Faruzan is a good minor support. She's good, but only for a Nemo main DPSs that do a Nemo damage. Why do I have to add that? Because Chaska is a character. Chaska is a Nemo main DPS that does not a Nemo damage. So in that case, Faruzan is not good. Faruzan main utility is reduce enemy resistance to a Nemo and increase Anemo damage bonus. So she can only work with pretty much Xiao, Wanderer, and to an extent, if you want to play main DPS Xian Yun, or if you want to play main DPS Hazel, or main DPS Faruzan, they're not gonna be as good, but they are viable. So have in mind a main DPS that you can buff with Faruzan before you decide to pull for her. Yanfei is a bad DPS. Moving on. Okay, a little bit more on that. She's gotten a nice boost from Furina from last year, but she cannot use the premium pyro support nowadays, which is Silale, because her pyro application is quite a lot, and Silale cannot keep up to enable her to melt. She's a bad main DPS. Beidou is a decent minor support, so a little bit even below decent. This is the boss. It provides damage mitigation, and other characters in the team that do damage can also trigger her stuff from off field. The shield is very poo-poo. It's not even as good as Silale's shield, and that says something. So it's a cool concept of a character. She provides defensive utility, she provides offensive utility, but her numbers, her damage numbers are dated. She is outclassed by Fischl, by Auroron, and in terms of providing for the team, in terms of damage, Lisa with Death Shred and Throwing Tales of Dragon Slayer buffing the main DPS provides arguably more offensive capability than Beidou. Then there is only one character remaining on the banner that we've not talked about, Xilonen. How good is she? In her debut in 5.1, she was the storm that is raging. I have made multiple videos glazing her and saying that she is equal or slightly even better than Kazuha, but how is she nowadays? She is still a support that is versatile. She's a good support for her versatility. There has been some stronger archetype specific support. Let's look at the cards with the characters. If you want to buff a Pyro main DPS, Silale is the best in slot support. You want to buff Electro main DPS, Shelres is your best in slot support. If you have a cryo character that wants to be buffing the main DPS, spoiler alert, next patch, use Escofia. That's the best in slot support. Say hi, hello, that's Escofia. If you have a Hydro main DPS, the answer is a little bit more toss-up. Xilonen is still contesting as the best in slot support for Hydro main DPS. Escofia is a little bit scuffed in Hydro main DPS team, and Silale is not working that amazing either. So among all the elements in the game, Pyro, Silale, let's say Electro, Chef, Cryo, Escofia, Hydro, Xilonen, Geo, Xilonen. Anemo is actually Faruzan, and Dendro is not having an amazing support right now. So why Xilonen can be fit into many teams? The teams that she is best in slot at has been reduced significantly from the moment she was released. There was no Escofia, there was no Silale, Shelres was there. Yansan entered the chat. Yansan is actually in Mahuika team not because she can always replace Xilonen. Yansan is only in the team because Silale in the team. Silale is actually the Xilonen replacer in Mahuika team because Silale also provide Rest Shred. The main thing that Xilonen is providing is Scroll and Rest Shred. Silale, Scroll, Rest Shred. Cryo application. Shelres, Rest Shred, 40% attack, damage bonus at C6, artifact set, and so on. Xilonen is she's kind of middle of the road. As many more support is starting to provide restret, Xilonen universal use is gradually phasing out. So is this to say that Xilonen is bad? No, it's not. She is still among the top 5 support in the game right now. Her main strength is that if we do not have these specific units, this Escoffier, then Xilonen is a second or third best option to use in those teams. If your account is an account that does not have a lot of characters, an early account, Xilonen will likely be useful. Xilonen Naviao Ito, absolutely. She remains the only geo buffer. Is there any question, chat? Any confusion, or have I explained things clearly? So Xilonen just cause she's hot, is that valid? Absolutely, absolutely. I'm gonna mention the disclaimer again. If you have already decided that you want the character, no matter what their combat capability is, because they look nice, because of their personality.
Good morning. Did you get some good sleep? Here, drink this. Starting your day with something sweet will boost your mood for the whole day.
Because of their presence in the lore, or because you like their exploration capability? Absolutely. Don't let me tell you otherwise. Who do you think will be used with Escoffier, Skirk, and Farina? It's likely gonna be Escoffier, Skirk, Farina, either Yelan or Shenhe. Or maybe Dahlia, which will be a 4-star that's likely gonna be released next to Skirk. Okay, so with all that out of the way, and with that knowledge, I'm gonna say this is a decent character. Decent minus, bad, good minus. Venti's banner is decent minus. These characters don't even work really well with each other. Xilonen is a good character. She's not amazing, but she's good. She's usually the second or third best option for support in the team, and versatile, as mentioned before. Beidou is a decent minus character, Yanfei is a bad character, and Faruzan is a good minus character that's niche and specific for Anemo only. Then, this banner average out to being somewhere between a decent banner to a good minus banner, because the lack of synergy between these characters as well. And compared to, say, this banner, that's so peak. Varsa can work with Ian-san and Chevres. If you can somehow have already high pity and you can get Xilonen and then get out the banner, then it could be a good minus banner. Let's talk about the weapons. Now this, on the other hand, chat, this is peak patrol song. The Xilonen's weapon is obviously best in slot for Xilonen. It's also good on Chiori, Albedo, and Bennett. Yes, Bennett. For Bennett, Xilonen's weapon is actually providing a comparable buff to Aquila Favonia. Aquila Favonia is also a weapon that does not have energy recharge, and it just gives high base attack. This weapon does not have energy recharge, it gives low base attack, but Bennett can also do 2 normal attack and buff the damage bonus of the team. It's making up for the low base attack with the damage bonus. Even if we don't build defense artifact on Bennett at all, it's still equivalent to Aquila Favonia. And if we use defense artifact on Bennett, so say recharge, defense, and this weapon is about 4% better than Aquila Favonia. Venti's weapon is a good support weapon. If I didn't say Pick Patrol Song is a good support weapon as well. Energy for the end is provided everyone in the team with 100 elemental mastery and 20% attack from the passive. It's very easy to get this passive by just hitting the enemy 4 times with skill or with burst. It provides energy recharge as a substat, so this weapon is good for mostly Yelan, Fischl, Auroron, because they are some of the more meta characters that are often used. They can use a bow, they can use the energy recharge substat, and they are often the character that is not the main focus of the team, so they can use a weapon that nerfs the damage a little bit to buff the main DPS. Yelan in a vaporized team can buff the main DPS using this weapon with elemental mastery and attack. Fischl in an aggravate team can buff the whole team with elemental mastery and attack. Auroron, similar case. So both of these weapons are good support weapons. How about the 4-star weapons? What? Favonius? And a sacrificial and a bell. What? Favonius, it's so good. Fav bow is good, Fav lance is good, Fav codex, it's good minus because generally support also likes to use this weapon. So Fav book is getting just a good minus. Sacrificial sword is mostly only good for each energy regen substat, and it can mostly just usable by Xingqiu and no one else. So it's getting a decent rating for me. The bell is atrocious, it's bad, don't. But hey, that's 3 out of 5 good weapon on this banner. In terms of 4-star, that's a really good chance of us getting some Favonius weapon to pad out our roster of weapon. I may consider just wishing on this weapon, throwing like 20 or 30 wish on this weapon to see if I get a Favonius weapon. And that is a valid consideration as well. But do know the risk involved that if we can throw some wish in here, it's likely we're gonna get a 5-star weapon. Now 5-star weapon is also good, so there's no problem with that. Is Sacrificial Sword good for Benny? No. It's worse than Fav Sword on Benny, and Fav Sword is not even that good on Benny. Okay, my rating for this weapon banner is good. this is a good weapon banner, period. It's not entirely necessary to pull on this weapon banner because maybe you prefer to pull on a main DPS weapon instead. But if you want to improve your support weapon roster, this is the banner to go for. 5-star support weapon, 4-star support weapon, all in one place. This is as good as it gets, chat. There's no way whoever's gonna put 4 or 5 for bonus weapon in one banner. To summary, decent banner. If you already have high pity, it could be a good minus banner. If you can avoid a lot of these 4-star, decent minus banner. Only pull if you want Venti. Good banner. Okay, I think this may be a cool exercise to do. We can look at different accounts and whether those accounts would benefit from a Xilonen or not. Are you pulling on this banner, Timmy? That is the exact thing that I'm gonna get at. And the people that has been here just previously, you may have already seen that I recommend Xilonen for a Mualani account that I just failed to clear before. The problem with this account is that the Alekino Mel team is so strong, but you don't have a second good team right now. You can use Yelan. Yelan will be very similar to Candace. You can use Sucrose, and ideally, you also want to replace Zhongli with Xilonen if you decide to get Xilonen from the next patch. You can also use this team technically and put Zhongli on Petra. This account has a Chlorine. She's an electro character, so she's gonna use Shavres. It has Shiori, which makes a contender for Xilonen, though Shiori C1 would make better use of Xilonen. It has Hu Tao, Furina, Xingqiu Ti. So there we go. Xilonen can be a good character to pull on this account. There's a clear improvement to this. Hu Tao is not a character who can use Silali. She prefers to vaporize. This account has Nuvolet, and we can immediately see I don't currently have a premium team for Nuvolet. Xilonen is a good contender here. I also have Navia in this account, and Xilonen is a good support for Navia. For Gaming, I already have Shanyun. For Kinech, Xilonen does not do anything. But since we have these two characters, Xilonen is a good contender. I hope those few examples give you a perspective on how valuable Xilonen can be to an account, depending on the existing characters you have on that account. Like, subscribe, return off, and Diluc will be greeting us off today. If you'd like to further support the stream, you can consider Super Chat in YouTube, joining the membership on YouTube. And with that, I'm gonna wish you an amazing rest of your day.